Hey everyone, welcome to a mobility session with your coach Jerome. Today we'll be exploring on range of motion, which is not so complicated if you actually know the terms of mobility. Basically it's a stretching motion with movement. Okay, so from that routine we will explore the range of motion through limited movements that we're always in, especially when we are inactive or sitting in the office for a very long periods of time. So basically this session is going to help you open up those tight muscles and those long seated positions for you to gain your range of motion back in order. Okay, so before we jump into it, I just want to let you guys know that I will have a coach showing you how to do the movements that we will be introducing today. So Coach KK is going to join us later on, and she's going to show us on how to do the movement, and I will point to you guys on the little parts of the muscle that you should be feeling, and you should not be focusing on some movements where you can strain those tight muscles. Okay, so it's very simple. The do's are there, the don'ts are there. Okay, shall we jump right into it? Let's go. Alright guys, moving on, we are going to start with the movement. Right into it, there's no warm-up because the whole movement is pretty slow, the whole routine is pretty slow. So you want to take your time to explore that range of motion so that you feel that stretch and you feel those muscles actually working. Alright, so before we start, I'm going to introduce you Coach KK. Please do join us. So guys, this is Coach KK. She will be doing the movements and I'll be pointing out on the muscles you should be feeling and the do's and the don'ts. Alright, let's jump right into it. Now, your first movement will be your shoulder CARs. Okay, CARs means controlled articular range stretching. So what she's going to show you is your CARs. So from here, the front view, and this is the side view. Okay, from here you're going to be in a fisted position tightly so that you are tight here and you're not loose like this. So make sure you're fisted tight, and from here she is going to rotate on one side just like that, and then she's going to switch to the other side. That's it. So left arm and right arm. One more time. And two. So what you don't want, don't is you don't want a shrug. You want to keep the elevation off, so you depress your shoulders down like this. In a fisted position, explore your range of motion like that, keeping this arm straight up. Okay, and then the other side. That's it. Cool. Let's do this for 1 minute, and then we will do the second minute where you change side, basically clockwise and anti-clockwise. Okay, let's jump right into it in 3, 2, 1, and go. That's it. Make sure you are not rotating your back. You are keeping it straight. Your chest is facing forward. That's it. Very nice. Keep it in a fisted position the whole time. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. This is going to loosen up all those tight muscles at the back when you're always facing forward doing your work on your laptop or driving, always in this seated position. We're trying to open those inactive muscles, okay? So you're not in a tight position at all times. So guys, mobility is very important so that you find your range of motion, you expand it so that you can have more free movement, okay? 3, 2, 1. Alright, from here we're going to just relax for a bit, drop the hands down, move it a little bit. You should be feeling a little bit of a tightness there, it's normal. Now we're going to change it to the other side, so basically clockwise now. Alright, let's go for 1 minute. That's it, same thing, keeping the chest facing forward, finding that range, going back. Okay, keeping those hands fisted and strong, tight, so that you really work on this side of the shoulders depressing the shoulders downwards and rotating. Never at one time that your shoulders are shrugging up. Okay, keep moving. Keep moving, keep breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. That's it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. So from here, guys, those 2 minutes, you gotta keep moving. Okay, so you're not resting. Don't drop your hands. Keep this fisted position the whole time, and breathe in and breathe out. Okay, so now we're moving on to the second movement, which is your quadruped T-spine. So you're gonna make your way down. Okay, put your hands right here. So a little thing that I want to highlight on is your shoulders, elbow, and your wrist should be stacked directly below each other. So as you can see, straight. So your hand should not be here, forward. Nope, it shouldn't be too low as well, where you have a compression on the wrist. Keep it right there. All right, so your hips and your knee is directly below each other, stacked one line. Okay, from here, Coach KK is going to keep one hand on the side. So let's do on the left side so you guys can see. Okay, from here she's going to drop down and turn up. So basically opening the side of the shoulders. Okay, so you're going to switch sides. So you're going to do 30 seconds, then 30 seconds. As simple as that. Boom, open up as much as you can. So you're going to feel the stretch opening up right here and also rotating those T-spine. All right, let's start this for 30 seconds for your first set in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Okay, focus on one side. Don't switch arms first. Left side first or right side first. 30 seconds, then you switch on to the other one. Very nice. Don't move your hips. Don't drop it. Don't do anything. Just keep it there. Keep it tight. This is the only thing that is moving. 7, 6, 5, 4. Breathe in and breathe out. 2 and 1. Now you're going to switch sides for the next 30 seconds and continue. That's it. So it's usual, if it's totally normal if you feel one side is a little bit more limited than the other. It's totally normal. It's just because you have dominant side of your left or your right. Okay, so it's very normal to feel tighter on one side. You just want to try to open it as much as you can. Stay for like 2 seconds, then you return. 3, 2, 1, and done. Okay, so that is your second movement. Take your time opening that T-spine and that chest. Okay, so breathe in, breathe out. Now your third movement is your prone snowman. So basically your prone snowman is really going to get some sweat out, but you want to do this the right way. Okay, so Coach KK is going to lie flat down facing the floor. So from here she's keeping her hands right forward, right there. Okay, so what you're going to do here, your legs are flat down. You're not moving any part from the lower part of your back till the bottom of your feet flat. Okay, what she's going to do now is she's going to lift her hands a little off the ground. Okay, so down right here, you don't want to shrug up like that. No. Okay, you want to keep this activated, so keep it tight. Remember, you want to keep it down there. Okay, so from there she's going to lift her hands off. So this is tight already, right? So from here she's going to do the snowman. So the hands are going to go back like this and rotate. Do you see that rotation? Yeah, and boom. She's going to drop the elbows down. Then she's going to get the elbows up again, and then leave from the back. Okay, let's do that one more time. She's going to go all the way down first. Go all the way down. She's going to take her time and lift it off. Okay, and then rotate. Right here is where she rotates her wrist, and that's where the shoulder gets the rotation as well. Then she's going to drop the shoulders down, keeping the hands there, and then going back up and leaving the back, going back to your neutral position. Got that? Cool. Let's do this for 1 minute. It's really going to break a sweat if you guys do it right. All right, so 1 minute. Let's go, Coach KK, in 3, 2, 1. That's it. Okay, keep the shoulders activated, and then that's it. Open up again and rotate forward. See, it's as simple as that. So there's no specific repetition here. You just want to go for the whole 1 minute, really feeling all those muscles that I just pointed out really opened up and really activated. Okay, we're talking about activation and stretching in the range of motion. Okay, so rarely we do stuff like that, right, in our everyday activity. So you want to get this part of the back activated. Those are the part that is weak, and then eventually cause you conditions of this strained neck, tight muscles, and pain. So let's talk about injury-free movements right here. These are the movements you want to practice on an everyday basis if you can, to get those range of motion explored. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, so that is the end of the prone snowman. Okay, we're gonna do one more set of that. Not yet. We're gonna do one more set of that. This time you are just going to rotate, tapping your side here, and then you're gonna come back. So you no longer need to go to your lower back. You just tap and then you come back. The only trick is now you do not rest. Boom, and then you're going forward the whole time. All right, the whole time you're doing this. Okay, really getting the shoulder blades tight and activated. All right, let's do that for 1 minute in 3, 2, 1, go. That's it. So you can rotate. You can rotate. I like the rotation, but if you don't want to rotate, you can just do this. See, the thumbs are still at neutral position. Up to you. I like the rotation because it really gets the shoulder blades to work. Okay, that's it. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. We're almost there. You guys should be sweating by now. I'm sure Coach KK is already breaking a sweat. You really need to work on the shoulder ranges and that shoulder rotation. Then you will feel that sweat kicking in. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, done. All right, so let's give you guys a little break. We're gonna give Coach KK a little break before we go to the fourth movement. Okay, so the fourth movement is a child's pose. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the child's pose by now. It's always being done in the previous videos for your cool down, sometimes for your warm up, but mostly for the cool down. Okay, so we're not just doing a child's pose here. We're actually doing a child's pose moving into a downward dog. If you don't know what a downward dog is, no sweat. Coach KK is going to show you the whole movement anyway, so you just want to pay attention and feel those muscles. Okay, Coach KK, you ready? Let's go. Okay, so we're going to jump into child's pose now. So watch the movement first. Don't do it. Watch first. You want to stretch the back here. Okay, what I like here is I like to keep the thumbs up so you really feel that stretch on the back. Okay, so from here you are going to move forward, boom, right here, and then bring the knees off the ground and go into a downward dog. Now you can keep your knees bent like this, but I like to stretch the hamstrings. Okay, you really feel the stretch and you really keep the shoulders up and not shrugging. Okay, you want to keep it tight the whole time, and don't drop and arch the back. Okay, don't do a major arch like this. Keep it up here so you have a V position downwards. All right, okay, let's go back into the child's pose. All right, so we're going to start now in 3, 2, 1, 1 minute. Let's go. So from here, move forward, bring the knees up, stretch for 1 to 2 seconds, then back down and back into your child's pose. Is that easy? Let's go, guys. So you don't want to hold your breath. You want to breathe in and breathe out. As you can see, Coach KK is keeping her toes active the whole time. So she's dropping, then flatten, then she goes down. That's it. Okay. Okay, if you can't move as fluid as this, you can take your time. Go slow and then move forward slowly, one by one, and then push up slowly, drop it down, then drop it down slowly again. Take your time, there's no rush, there's no specific repetitions here. You're just gonna move. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's it. All right, so from here you want to move your hands slowly, one by one, like that, and then push back up. Okay, never, guys, you want to just boom and jump up straight. When you're doing your mobility is as close as your cool down, your muscles are stretching, you're elongating them. You don't want to pull them all of a sudden or get up really quickly. Okay, this is when you get that tight muscles too. Okay, so now we're moving on to the final part of set 1, which is your shoulder and chest openers. Basically, you're just going to keep your hands right here. So there's 2 positions here. Let's show them the 2 positions. You can be kneeling down like this, or you can be in a very neutral sit down. Okay, this is a neutral sit down. I prefer the other way, the first one, where you are kneeling like this. Okay, but you can do this if you feel this is uncomfortable, but this is not ideal for me because I feel that there's a limited range right here that you're actually tightening up your hip flexors. We don't want that, so we want to kind of keep the hip flexors active at this position. So Coach KK is going to be on her knees so that there is sort of a stretch right there and a neutral position, I would say. So from here you are able to keep your back straight, whereas when you're sitting down, most likely you will be hunching your back. Okay, so we got that aside. We're going to do the shoulder and chest openers. Okay, for 1 whole minute. Shall we show them? This is the way you do it. So you're going to sort of round your back, that's it. So elongate the muscles here, stretching up, and then you're going to open up and stretch the chest. So this part is going to feel the chest opened up, okay, as much as you can. Then you're going to go back, rounding your back again and opening. So the movement is basically just opening and closing. All right, let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, go. And opened, closing, and opening. That's it. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep your legs fixed, okay? Just keep it down, relax. The only thing that you're feeling is your spine that is actually going to this motion where you're opening up the chest, okay? Feel those muscles just opening up. Again, this helps you to open up those stiff muscles. Now you can do this at home, you can do this while you are working. Okay, make sure you move while you're working and not sit at the constant posture where you are tight. All right, in 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's it. All right, now that's the end of our first part. So you guys can catch a break here. We're moving on to the second part, and then we'll end it right there. Alright guys, now we're on the second part of the whole mobility routine. Now, we're going to be doing the lower part of the body. We're going to focus on the lower part. So the first movement is your KANG squat. Okay, so you really want to pay attention here. If you're not feeling the stretch, that means you're doing it wrong. Okay, so try to catch those cues that we will be sharing with you guys. Okay, let's get into a KANG squat. So this is your neutral position where your shoulders and your feet are one line. From here, you are gonna, well, you can keep your hands here or you can keep your hands here, up to you, but Coach KK likes to keep her hands at the hip. But make sure when you keep your hands at the hip, you are not doing this. You want to keep it down, okay? So basically keeping the shoulders tight the whole time, okay? So from here, she's gonna push her hips back, okay? Now again, when you push your hips back, these are 2 different cues. Pushing your hips back and standing up, squatting, is two different things. Okay, so you need to know that the hinge, the hips going back, is where you try to push your hips like someone is pulling your lower part of your back this way, and you're pushing your hips back. As you can see, your knees are soft, your knees are not straight, your knees are soft. Okay, so from here again, she's going to go into this. Now from this position, she's going to go into a squat. So as you can see, this is your squat where your chest is up and you have this position upright. You are not here. This is inactive. What you see the round back? No, you got to keep it up high so you are off the ground. Okay, if you're too low, this is when the hunch comes in, and then you're not active anymore. So you want to keep it active a little higher right here. Okay, and don't try to arch your back too much like this. No, keep it neutral so everything is parallel, tight, and you are at a good position. From here, now the KANG squat basically needs you to come back to your original position where the hips push back and stand up. It's that simple. Okay, let's do one rep. Boom, down. You see that? Active, up, back into flat, then come up. All right, let's do this for 1 minute in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Pushing it back, squatting down, going back into this position, then stand up. There's two different breakdowns here. 1, 2. Again, 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, get that right. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, now the next little tip, she's going to keep going. Just listen to me, guys. When you stand up at your upright position right here, you want to squeeze your glutes as tight as you can, then go back, stretching your hamstring, dropping it down, activating your quads, standing up, activating the glutes by squeezing forward. That's it. Keep doing this for the next 10 seconds. Squeeze the glutes down and stand upright. Last one, 3, 2, squeeze, and done. All right, guys, it's that simple. Make sure you're doing those two movements right, then it becomes one. It's called a KANG squat. You're activating your hamstring, activating your quads, and making sure you're in an upright position. Now, move number 2, Samson stretch. This is Coach KK's personal favorite stretch. This is where we focus on the hip flexors. Okay, so she's gonna go down into a Samson stretch in the front view so that you guys can see. So as you can see, the right leg is forward. Now she's gonna keep her right hand up, right? And she's gonna push her hips forward, and then she's gonna lightly go to the side. So the stretch is basically feeling on this end, right here, the hip flexors. Okay, now let's show them the side view on the other side of the limb. Okay, so left leg now, and hands up. Okay, so from here she's going to push the butt forward, so you kind of activate in this position, and then you tilt to the side, just about 10 to 15 degrees down, so you really feel that stretch. Okay, so we're going to do whole 1 minute. You're going to switch sides. All right, you guys ready? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. To the side. Don't forget this, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget this. Pushing forward, then you tilt, then you come back to your neutral position. See, push forward, hands up, tilt, 1, 2, come back. Okay, take a longer time when you're at this position. 1, 2, then come back. Okay, so 1, 2, push back, just keep moving. So you want to feel the stretch right there, the hip flexors. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, so if you're always in a sitting position, you're always feeling a tightness here, or you're not doing movements that are here, exploring this range, this muscle is going to be shortened and tightened. So you don't want that. You want to open them up by this exercise. In 4, 3, 2, and 1, done. All right, so now we are moving on to the next movement, which is your 90-90 to hinge. Okay, let's get into a 90-90 position. So some of you guys call this a swastika sit in yoga, but we call this the 90-90 position. Okay, so basically keeping your legs like this, and then you're going to rotate this side, and you're going to hinge down and go back up. 30 seconds on one side, and then you switch to the other side. Okay, let's go. In 3, 2, 1, proceed. That's it. You're going to stretch the glute. So if your legs are right here, you're feeling this part. Okay, right here, that leg, the front leg is feeling all this stretch here. So make sure you are straight and going down. 10 more seconds on this side. Nice one. Keep your chest up. Don't try to hunch your back. In 3, 2, 1, and pause. Switch to the other side. Now, next 30 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, go. That's it. So you don't want to hunch your back. You really want to keep it straight. So you are actually trying to force yourself to go down and stretch those muscles right there. If you hunch your back, you're not going to feel the stretch. You're going to feel just your back doing that rounding motion. You don't want that, okay? You want to really feel that stretch on the glutes and the hamstrings. 3, 2, 1, and recover. It's that simple. Okay guys, you can do this on your own when you are doing your workouts or before a workout. This will be a good warm-up before you jump into your rigorous session. Okay, now moving on, we are going towards the active 90-90 with the hamstring stretch. So the whole 1 minute you will be moving. So same thing from here, 90-90, you are moving. Okay, and then stretching the legs forward and then coming back, keeping the legs tucked, and then switch sides, go again on this side. All right, in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. 1 whole minute, go all the way down, stretching the hamstrings, keeping it tucked back into neutral position, switch sides, stretching again. Okay, so what you don't want is your feet moving while it's already planted on the ground. Okay, you want to keep it planted strong, and then you just move your feet without moving your heels. Okay, 20 seconds more. Good, keep going. In 7, 6, make sure you guys breathe and you don't pull a muscle, okay? 2, and 1, done. That's it. Okay, so you want to catch a breath here before we jump into the next session. We're going to end it with another 2 to 3 movements, and then we'll leave you from there. All right, good job. All right guys, we're towards the end. I'm going to leave you guys with 3 different movements. Those are going to stretch out those muscles that are usually neglected. We just want you to be a little bit more aware of your movements to explore that range of motion again. As you can see, I keep highlighting on this word range of motion because we want to explore ranges. We don't want to be limited in just one movement. Okay, so we're going to start with a ankle mobility movement, which is your ankle dorsiflex or stretch. Basically, you're going to kneel down, okay, and then keep your legs here. Okay, what you want to do is you want to keep that knee closer, bring this knee closer. From here, you want to flex your ankle. Okay, so basically apply pressure downwards. You're going to grab your ankle and you're going to move forward and back. Okay, the other way you can do this is actually sit down like this, keep your legs right here, so it's going to look like this. Okay, so you're going to grab it and then you move it forward and back. Basically, you're going to plant your feet on the floor and just move forward and back. Okay, so we're going to focus on 30 seconds on one side and then the next 30 seconds on the other side. Okay, shall we start? In 3, 2, 1, and go. Forward and back. So make sure your heels are always down on the floor. If you guys can't see, I'm going to switch it to the other side. In 3, 2, 1, and that's it. Okay, so we're going to pause for 5 seconds, quickly get into the next position. Just switching sides, foot on the ground, and go. 30 seconds. Just sort of a rocking forward and back motion, nothing really complicated here, just rocking. Just want to keep the foot pressure down. So if your heels are coming up, you just want to make sure it's down. You can put your hands back like this, like what I'm doing, to keep the heels down. So I really try to explore the range of motion. 3, 2, and 1. That's about it. So you guys can do this longer for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds on one side, or you can just spend 5 minutes on one side. This is really gonna open up and strengthen and mobilize that ankle mobility. Okay, if you're always spraining your ankles or you feel there's a limited motion there, you can do this exercise. The second one is your calf stretch. Okay, so your calf stretch, what you want to do is this. So you can either, if you don't have a wall, you can either do this, so where you kind of spread your legs apart, just like this, a wide lunge I would call it. You want to keep this leg straight and the heels downwards and pushing forward with this leg. So you're going to feel the calf stretching. Now another way of doing this is the wall. Now I'm going to show you from the side, from the back. So you're going to put your hands right here, dropping the heels down, same motion as this. Imagine there's a wall, I'm just pushing. Okay, I'm pushing away from the wall and pressing my heels down and staying there for 30 seconds. Okay, so we'll do 30 seconds on one side and 30 seconds on the other side. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, and stretch. So if you don't feel comfortable, you can actually move forward and back down, dropping it as low as you can. So each time you can actually try to drop it a little bit more to stretch the calves a little bit more. Another 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, and switch sides. Alright, continue 30 seconds. So I am choosing to move forward and back. If you don't like, you can just drop it down like this and hold it for the next 10 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, really feel the stretch on the calves, and 1, push forward, and that's it. Okay, now the last movement is basically stretching the whole body, basically your core and your hip flexors and your legs as well. So you can do this pre-warm-up as your warm-up pre-workout, or you can do this even when you are just mobilizing your body before bed is actually pretty good as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with this. Okay, so it's very simple. Basically, I'm going to push forward like this and stretching the hip flexors, and then from here I'm just going to stand straight to this motion. Okay, from here push down and back. So we're going to do this for 15 seconds aside. All right, let's try. 15 seconds starting. Stretch. As you can see, I'm not dropping my knees down, I'm keeping it straight up. 3, 2, and 1. All right, moving forward, dropping the legs back again, same thing, 15 seconds. So you can put your hands here to support. In 3, 2, and 1, done. Alright, so that's about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the mobility session. Sometimes we've got to take time to explore that range of motion so that it helps you when you're doing your strength training, when you're doing your HIIT, when you're doing your cardio sessions. Okay, your muscles need to stay loose and strong at the same time. That's basically the definition of mobility. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned in, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.